What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix, and it is over. It is absolutely over. Square Enix is done with PlayStation exclusivity. Square Enix is done watching every other freaking game like Palworld and Hogwarts Legacy sell 15 million, 20 million, 25 million copies worldwide, while Square Enix, they release, a kick-ass game like Final Fantasy 16, and it is stuck on the PlayStation 5. Okay? And I've been saying this for a long time. Because I am one of those people, I hate exclusivity. I don't like exclusivity. And I like to play my games on the PC. And I like, is it better? It is just better for gaming studios to release their game on multiple platforms, because exclusivity is only beneficial for the console, for Sony and Microsoft. Exclusivity is not beneficial for gamers. Okay, so exclusivity is only good for the corporations, not good for the gamers. So it could easily be said that exclusivity is kind of anti-consumer. Oh man, you guys are gonna hate me for saying this. But exclusivity, it doesn't benefit gamers. But because look, let's say Nintendo. If you are a Pokemon fan, you have to buy a Nintendo Switch. Now, luckily, the Nintendo Switch is a very popular console, and there's 160 million of those in circulation, right? So you can get one for a cheap price now. But if you want to play Pokemon, if you want to play Zelda, if you want to play Mario, Super Mario, any Mario game, you cannot get it outside of the Nintendo console, the Nintendo system. All right? You cannot get it outside of the Nintendo console. So it's good for Nintendo, not good for consumers. Do you understand what I mean? Because if you're a Pokemon fan, but you play on the PC, you're going to have to buy a Nintendo Switch to play Pokemon. If you are, you guys get the point. So I am really glad and I'm really happy that Square Enix decided to finally put an end to exclusivity on the PlayStation. Now, for those of you that want to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I believe that I think at the end of May or June, they'll be able to get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth out of the PlayStation platform, or no, they'll be able to publish it on other platforms. So I'm guessing within a year or so, it's gonna come to the PC. I'm also waiting for God of War Ragnarok to come to the PC. Right? Anyway, so here at Forbes.com it says Square Enix is done with PlayStation exclusivity after profit drop. Square Enix wants an open relationship. I like that. It says even though Square Enix and Sony's partnership goes back years, something has to change for the publisher. It has realized that includes getting its biggest games outside of reach of a single console. They just found out. Right? It says in the latest earning release, Square Enix reports a profit down 69%. Holy crap! Year over year. Thanks in part to growing operating losses from high dev cost amortizations. Even if sales are up slightly, but the company has made it clear it plans to make the most of the high development costs with releases on more platforms. Square Enix will aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Thank you. And you know what? They're gonna make even more money. So those $100 million that they paid to make Final Fantasy VII, because you gotta remember, AAA games cost hundreds of millions of dollars. I think God of War cost like $150 million to make, right? I believe it's like a movie. It's like a movie budget, right? And Square Enix, I'm pretty sure they spent about a little over $100 million to produce Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, both remake and rebirth. And they only sold 3 million copies in the last month of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So it's just another loss. Like it's not just Final Fantasy 16, 3 million, but also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It is a huge loss. Look, if Square Enix was selling was selling 7 to 8 million, or yeah, 7 to 8 million copies of of Final Fantasy 7 remake, of Final Fantasy 7 rebirth, or Final Fantasy 16. If they were selling that many copies, they would not be making this announcement. They wouldn't change their strategy. But the problem is, you know, you go over here, you do a quick Google search, Palworld, right? Palworld sold 25 million units. It says, yeah, combined on PC, gaming platform, Steam, and Xbox. 25 million units. And that game came out of nowhere. I mean, that game literally came out of nowhere. And I'm thinking Square Enix looks at something like this and it's like, hey, how are they selling 25 million copies? We are a historical company. We should be selling that amount. But these guys show up out of nowhere and they sell more than us. So what's going on? Multi-platform. We go over here. Damn it. We go to Polygon. Says Square Enix is going to aggressively multi-platform after string of PS5 exclusive. I don't know if you guys understand, but the PlayStation 5 doesn't have a lot of units in circulation. There's only 50 million copies of the PlayStation 5s that were sold worldwide. That is not a lot. I mean, you get the Nintendo Switch, 160 million. About 160 million. That's 3 times the amount of PlayStation 5. So let's say, for example, let's pretend if Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth would have been released on the Nintendo Switch, let's just say, with the amount of Nintendo Switches out there, they would have easily sold 10 million copies. And they would not be complaining, they would not be throwing a tantrum and making these announcements. Okay, from Video Game Chronicles. Square Enix confirms US Europe layoffs as part of restructuring. It says publishing it, and Square Enix collectively indie games labeled are affected. So they're closing, they're laying off people in America, they're laying off people in Europe, and they're going to focus on what actually works for them. Because they're sick and tired of losing money, right? And the problem with exclusivity, because, I mean, let's be realistic here. I know there's the whole DEI happening. I know there's the whole diversity and inclusion. I know there's the whole, I'm going to say pussification of gaming. But Square Enix, despite of the changes that they made in Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was a very successful game. So Final Fantasy VII Remake was a very successful game. And, we haven't seen a lot of this DEI being applied to Square Enix. So, and a lot of the products that they made, like Final Fantasy 16, they're really good games. But the problem is that they are stuck. They are stuck in the limitations of PlayStation. So, and I've been saying this, multi-platform is the way to go. In order for a company, for a gaming studio to not go bankrupt, they need to go multi-platform. Because not everybody has a PlayStation 5. Not everybody wants to be on the PlayStation. I sold my PlayStation. But let's take a look at this. If you do a quick Google search, how many PC gamers are there? It says how many PC gamers are there? According to the latest available data, there are an estimate 1.8 billion PC gamers worldwide, around the world. So there is only 50 million PlayStation 5s around the world, PlayStation 5 users. And there's 1.8 billion PC gamers. Square Enix only needs about 5% of that to make a really extremely good profit with a $60 game. This is why PC is the way to go. So forget about forget the middleman. I wish gaming studios would just find a way to just get out of being so exclusive to Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, and just go straight to the consumer. They will be so much successful if they did that, and they would not have to. What's the word I'm looking for? They would not have to abide by the DEI rules. Do you understand? 1.8 billion. That's one point. Yeah, that's a billion. Or that's almost 2 billion gamers. 2 billion PC gamers. Come on. Anyways, I'm glad this is good news, and hopefully Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will come to PC fast, and all future releases of Square Enix will come to PC fast. They've been way too loyal. They've been way too loyal to PlayStation. All their future releases, they need to come out on the PC in order for it to be successful. In order for them to not go bankrupt, and then they can sell as many copies as Palworld, 25 million units. Imagine that if Final Fantasy 16 has sold 25 million units, this would not have happened. Lesson learned. All right, I'm gonna stop it right here. Whatever your thoughts are, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, future notifications. It's your boy Matrix, and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed, baby.